Hey ladies, just getting comfortable. How's everybody going? Does that make any sense? How is everybody doing? We are officially live here today for goal setting, for recovery and healing, and I am super excited to share this with you. This will be the last live that I do for the year. I also did not notice that when I switched up some of the things in the group that my posts were not going through because I scheduled them for the week. So I will get back to doing that in the new year. So I just decided that, I just wasn't going to do it this week. And that's just okay. That's my personal thing. So if you are new to the group, I know that there are some new people here. I want to welcome you. Thank you for being here. I'm very excited for you to be here. I know that healing from trauma is not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but being here, of course, is the first step. And I know that it's not pretty, it's not beautiful like people try to say it is, and it's definitely not all good vibes and great days and rainbows and sunshines and unicorns. It's not like that at all. So to be here and to work on yourself every day is something to be proud of. And I just want you to know that. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I hope that the content is useful for you. I hope that it really starts to change your life and you become more and more aware of how things impacted your life. I think that's like the best way to put it. If you are new to me, I am Angela. I am the founder of AsFreeAsYouSee.com. I am a breakthrough coach where I help women break through trauma that's been holding them back. I do specialize in sexual trauma release, and just because that has been a very powerful part of my life and the way things have transformed and changed, and I want to be able to give that back because I think that when we heal that type of trauma or any trauma in general, that it completely changes our life. But I do believe that women have more sexual trauma than they like to admit. And that really does impact our life. It impacts the partners that we choose. It impacts the jobs that we choose. It impacts, the way we speak to our family, the way we interact with people. It just plays a huge role with everything. And so I think it's very important to heal that. Let me get a drink of my cold coffee on this Monday. So let's get into the goal. Let's get into the content. And I want to be very clear that the vision boards masterclass and the habits and routines masterclass, they all kind of build to this masterclass. Goal setting is critical to healing and recovery. And why is that? Because when you start to work towards something that you want in your life, things start to get revealed to you that need to be healed. And what do I mean by that? Let's take starting a business, for example, because that has been the biggest growing space for me. When you decide to start a business, and I don't know how it was for everybody else, but for me, it was, I'm going to do this so that I can leave my corporate job and I'm going to make a ton of money and I'm going to give back because I was able to beat depression and anxiety and do all these things, and I'm going to be able to do that. Well, what happens when you make a commitment to doing something like that, there are other things to you that get revealed that need to be healed, like money blocks, limiting beliefs, how you see yourself, perfectionism. Things like you need to heal from sexual trauma. Things like you need to heal from other kind of trauma. Maybe you need to heal the wounds that you have with your parents because they play a big role with whether or not you decide to show up. Concerns about what other people think. Concerns about failure. Concerns about success, right? There's all these things that get revealed to you while you work towards something that you want in your life so that you can heal it, so that you can continue, so that you can achieve that goal. What we think is that there's hurdles and roadblocks actually preventing you from ever achieving it, but actually it's doing the opposite. It is completely doing the opposite. So when you are striving for a goal that you are 100% committed to, there are going to be things that show up that are actually for your benefit so that you can heal and move on and start striving towards that goal with your 100% commitment. It is not there to knock you off the trail or off the path. It is there to help you heal and maybe potentially find a new path that you need to take or that you're supposed to be on. Okay. Hurdles are those things. They are not there to make you quit. They are there to show you that yes, you 100% committed to this goal. It's time for you to keep marching towards it. And these are the things that you have to deal with to meet that goal. And that's how I believe that it is. And I know that that is true because since I have committed to starting a business, I don't know, I think it's been like 5 years ago, I have done nothing but change and transform and evolve into who I am right now. And even in the last couple of weeks, I have been evolving, realizing that there are limiting beliefs that I still hold on to that I have to take care of and deal with so that I can stay committed to my path. It is easy to use what comes up as an excuse and be like, you know what, maybe it's not meant to be. But the turbulence shows that you are on the right path. And I just want you to know that before we really get into that. So what are goals? What kind of goals should you be setting or want to set or need to set? To me, I don't do goal setting the way everybody else does. And I don't do goal setting the way everybody else does because control is a sign of unhealed trauma, right? And so and I used to be the type of person that everything had to be planned out precisely by this date. And if I didn't achieve it by this date, I'm a failure, and completely would let go of the goal because I would be so off track. And what I didn't realize is that I was not aligned with that specific goal anymore. And that was causing problems because I had to control everything. So what I do now is I take my word, okay? And again, this is part of the other masterclass that was I did a couple of weeks ago. You take your goal, or you take your word. My word for the year is alignment. I know that there was gratitude, there was confidence, there's been unstoppable. I've seen all kinds of things. I want you to take that word, and what you're going to do is, based off the month, create a goal that is connected to that word. So for example, let's say if your word is gratitude, then every day for 30 days, you're going to write in your journal the things that you're grateful for. And that's what you're going to do. And that matches up with your word, right? That is the only specific goal that we are working for 30 days. That's it. The only time I specifically do something that has a deadline, that has, the SMART goals, is only for the month. And then at the end of the month, I redo my goals that is specifically with my word. And why do I do that? Because if you're really healing, if you're really on recovery, if you're really transforming, if you're really evolving, by the end of that month, you're going to be an entirely different person. You may not be, you may not be that person that wants to achieve reading these specific 12 books by the end of the year, and you've discovered you don't want anything to do with those books, and now what? So you want to make sure that you have these bigger picture goals that are up here that are not so specific that you have to do everything according to this specific path. So you have this big goal, right? You have this big goal. And then you have these smaller goals that will help you meet these bigger goals. And it doesn't matter what they are. Okay, so Maybe for me, for mine is going to be alignment. So that means for me, next month, I've already decided every single day I have to do my morning routine because I've been slacking off on the weekends and it's been hurting me, right? So I'm aware of where that improvement needs to be made. And I believe that that's in order for me to be in alignment for the year. That means that I'm going to start with this for the month and do my morning routine every single day like I believe that I'm supposed to. That will help me meet this bigger goal. So you want to make sure that you do specifics based on the month. The bigger goal does not have to have this specific thing. And then again, let's use starting a business for example. If you say that you want to start a business based on arts and crafts, and then you decide that that's not what you want to do at all, now you have this goal that is so planned out, you can't pivot, you can't shift away from that goal to try to make it work for you by the end of the year. So you want to have something that is broad, and then you want to have something that is specific. And this is important to your healing again, because while you are trying to achieve something every single day or every month, whatever it might be, there are going to be things to you that will be revealed that you want to work on, that will help you from self-sabotage, that will help you with having a healthy self-worth, that will help you grow, that will help you stay committed, that will help you into the habits and the routines and the self-discipline. It will show up. And that's how you want to strive towards your healing. Because and I know that, you know, in your routines you might be doing things like meditating or journaling, and yes, those help you heal, but the thing is that real life, they help you heal. When you notice that you're reacting to a moment instead of responding to it like you need to, you can actually see where the healing needs to take place. That's not always going to happen in journaling and meditating, and you want to be able to heal. That's the whole point of being in this group. That's the whole point of, transforming or being a different person, is about that healing moment. And I'll give you an example. And I know that this is going to sound crazy, but whatever, I did it. The other day, it was actually yesterday, I had been cleaning and doing things all day long. Okay. The house has been a disaster since Christmas Eve because, we had people over and whatever. So I've been cleaning for 2 or 3 days, and Aubrey had this new puzzle on the floor, and I asked her very patiently 3 or 4 times to pick it up. I helped her pick it up. And then when she wasn't picking it up, I told her, okay, I'm done. I'm not picking it up anymore. You need to pick it up. Well, she didn't pick it up, and then she tossed it on the floor. So I went and picked up all the pieces real fast. And then, of course, I dropped it, and I got so pissed off. I picked up the box and threw it against the fucking wall. And I was just like, why am I so upset? What is going on? So I didn't know what I'm sorry, the text message distracted me. So I was just like, what is going on? Well, there was a moment that I started to realize that there was something going on that really had nothing to do with my daughter or anything that was going on, and it had to do with me. Real life helps you heal. In order to make sure that you are on the right track to help you heal, then you want to set goals, because I promise you, when you are 100% committed to that goal, it will show up the way that you need it to, so that you can heal, so that you can recover, and so that you can move on with your life and strive and transform and evolve. So you want to take your word and use that as the bigger picture goal. Then every month you want to have specifics. And I say every month because it does make things easier to strive for every single month instead of the entire year, right? Because the entire year might seem overwhelming, whereas a month isn't even that big of a deal. And if the month seems overwhelming to you as well, then just do it based off every week. Every week I'm going to, every single day this week, I'm going to write in my journal. Every single day this week, I'm going to meditate, whatever it takes, right? And this stuff will show up. You will grow. I promise you. And that's what this is all about. You don't want to stay stagnant, because when you are not evolving, when you are not learning, when you are not striving for something more, you become stagnant, and that's when depression and anxiety hit, right? And I understand some of those stuck feelings, they're necessary. And I get that. And I know that because I had to deal with a very stuck phase in my life. And that's where it becomes pivotal. Which path are you going to choose? And I get that. However, you do not want to stay stagnant, because it does make you fall in depression and anxiety, and that's not what we want. Strive for something more. Strive for something bigger. It is very much a part of the healing path. And if you want something so much quicker, if you want to be healed, if you want to be done with this trauma, if you want to let it go, create a goal specifically about that trauma, and I promise you things will start showing up so that you can start healing it like crazy. And that's just exactly what happened for me, is that when I committed to that goal, things really did start to show up so that I could start healing it. And that's just how things work. So make sure that you are committed to your word and the bigger picture, and then you set specific goals for the month or the week, whatever is good for you. But you also want to make sure that you are reevaluating at the end of the month, or reevaluating at the end of the week. What's working? What's not working? Am I still aligned with this specific goal that I created for the month or the week? And what do you do if you don't? You just change. You decide, well, I'm going to do this instead. That's fine. You don't want to be so set in the path that you're on that you cannot shift from it, that you can't move from it. It doesn't matter how you get to the bigger picture goal, right? It's as long as you get there. You don't want the path to be so cut dry that you cannot do anything if you change as a person. If you decide that that goal that you set isn't right, if you decide later on that that book that you thought that you wanted to read at the beginning of the year, you don't want to read it anymore. You don't want to be so controlled in the situation that you cannot move from it. That you don't want that. So, bigger picture goal, usually your word, however you decide to do it, that's fine. But I do it as the word, goals for the month, goals for the week. If you prefer, months are easier for me based on what's going on. 100% commitment, everything will show up in your path to help you grow. So anything that you think is a hurdle, a roadblock, it's not. It's just to help you grow. It's just to help you learn. It's just to help you heal. It is not meant to prevent you from what's going on. The more turbulent your path is, that is where you're supposed to be. It sounds crazy. It sounds counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. That is what I have for you today. I have my nanny telling me that the TV is not working, so I have to go fix that. I will see you guys later. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. Ask any questions that you want to ask, and I will check you later.